Okay, I thought I'd do a short garden update. Most of the stuff is doing pretty good. We had one setback yesterday where hubby came out in the morning and to check the greenhouse before he was heading out, and he told me that it was 10 degrees in the greenhouse, and I assumed he had turned the heater off, and he assumed that I would come out later and turn it off. So unfortunately, when he came home in the middle of the afternoon, it was 50 degrees in the greenhouse, and because of that, a few of our plants got cooked, and I'll have to restart them, but most things are okay, thankfully. Our Heinz tomatoes are up and doing really nice, and the other flat of them down here is up. Not quite as far along as the ones up top. I wonder if starting them in cartons, I wonder if they don't do quite as well because they dry out a little faster in these. Kind of like a peat pot, the cardboard will whip the moisture away from the soil, where the plastic trays don't do that. So I find these need a little bit more water, and it took a few days longer to come up. And you can see that they're just starting to get their true leaves, just starting to come up. And the ones up here, most of them already have a set of true leaves on them. Okay, going around the cayenne peppers, they're looking good. The Henderson pink tomatoes are doing really nice. They're growing quickly. The golden queens still have not come up. I'm pretty sure I got a bad package of seed on that because not one of them came up there. The chocolate cherries, they were up and doing great, but again, this is one of the trays that got cooked really bad. There was two up here on the top, and I guess it's right where the sun was shining in, and between that they got the most heat. So we still have 2 chocolate cherries left, and I know that there's a couple in the kids' ones. I'm going to pull out these little dead ones back there and replant some. We have a few lemon boys left, and they're looking not too bad, but most of them got cooked, unfortunately. Look at the sad little guys. And they were okay the night before, so I'm sure that that was the heat. So I'm not sure if I have any more lemon boy seed. I'll have to check. Otherwise, it'd be a little late to reorder more seed. I might just have to buy some of those ones because we really like the lemon boys. But the yellow, look over here, the egg yolk yellows, they didn't all germinate very well. Some of them are actually still coming up now, but there's a few of them. The lemon oxheart, they did well. Most of them came up. A few of them got touched by the heat the other day, but most of them did okay. Down here, the lettuce is doing great. And I'm going to start hardening that off and transplant it outside soon. Just when waiting, we've had some nights that are still below 0, so. And then behind the chamomile's coming up. It's starting to get its true leaves on too. I don't know if you can see. The camera doesn't zoom that well on video, but they're just starting in here to get the true leaves. The Campbell tomatoes have never come up. It's too bad. No sign of the yellow strawberries yet either, or the celery. Cabbage is doing good. The red cabbage over here. There's a couple that got touched by the heat, but most of them are okay. And beside it here, and the early cabbage and the late cabbage. The late cabbage, we got 2 that got touched with that heat, and a couple more in the back of the early ones. But overall, they're not too bad. So I can replace a few of them. This is the garden huckleberries. They're doing really well. This is that other variety of huckleberry. It's just starting to come up. You'll remember that in my last garden video there was just 1 or 2 little sprouts just starting to come above the soil. It seems to germinate a lot slower than the other one. And then a little bit of lettuce in the back. The eggplants are all up and looking good. We have an angry bee in here. Okay, the bee is gone. Give the kids vegetables are doing good. The lettuce is up and looking nice. You can see one of the cucumber plants and some of their teddy bear sunflowers. And I believe it was chocolate cherry tomatoes they put in as well. This one up here is their broccoli. Some more tomatoes in the back. I can't remember if she did the cherry chocolates too or if she did a different one. And that's another sunflowers. This one had some more cucumbers. There's 2. I think she did 4 and one hasn't come up. And then some more tomatoes and some sunflowers. Down on the bottom here, these were the California Wonder peppers that aren't up yet, and the Mr. Stripey tomatoes that also aren't up yet. Sorry. This tray was, what was this? I think it was the Italian zucchini, and it's coming up. It's looking nice. And then some alpine strawberries in the back, and they're not up yet either. Strawberries can take up to 20 days, I think, to sprout, was what I was reading. And these are the banana peppers. No, not the banana peppers. These ones are the red shepherd peppers. And obviously not up yet. But again, these were just planted about a week ago, I think. These are the Asian cucumbers. They're starting to pop up. And over here, finally, the sunberries, they're also called wonderberries, are starting to come up. I almost gave up on them. And over here is that sad little tray of mortgage lifter tomatoes. These were up on the top shelf before. I moved them down here hoping after watering that the less intense light would help them. There's 1 or 2 that might be okay. There's one there. And then there's a nice one in the middle. They might recover. The rest of them are toast. So if I can find some more seed of those, I might restart. But I had to order them from the States, so I might not have enough time. But if the 2 plants make it, then that'll be okay. At least I'll be able to keep the seeds. In the middle raised bed here, you can see right here, those are the Asian radishes that can also be used as turnips when they're mature. They're starting to come up. It'd be interesting to try them. Moving a little farther down here, you can see the radishes are starting to come up. Up here. Some more over there. They're just starting. I planted a couple different types of radishes. They haven't minded the cold weather that we've had at all. Now, I think this is the spinach starting to come up right here. I know they're hard to see, they're really right there. And the Swiss chard is just starting to come up. The first planting of peas along the back is up. I planted them along the back of this whole stretch. And then I know I gotta get out here and get the grass out too. Then in front of them I put another planting. And it's just starting to pop up too. I can just see a couple. They're hard to see though. This bed's carrots. And I don't think they're up yet. Gave them a good watering yesterday because they were pretty dry. Yeah. We're supposed to start getting some rain tonight, and that'll help a lot. This is something I forgot to show you in my last video. Last year we let a lot of radish plants go to seed so that I could save them. Some of the ones in the kids' garden didn't get picked. And as you can see, the seeds from last year have sprouted and started coming up. And also down into the walkway. See all these little radish plants? They were one of the first things to start coming up and growing. So they should be ready in a couple of weeks. Hello, kitty. The garlic's doing okay. Get a little yellow because it needs some rain. You can only water so much. Pretty dry spring. Onions, despite the crows, the onions are growing. Hello, kitty. This is where I've got that double row of corn in. Or not corn, I'm sorry. This is where I've got the double row of peas. They haven't started coming up yet. Then I've got the 2 rows of beets that aren't up yet. But I noticed today, right here, the summer turnips are in.